buy all 3 Game Corner Pokemon, you're going to want the money from price as well. So there's a bit of synergy there, and it looks like the racers are ready to get started here.
Yeah, but taking a look at it, there's also a little bit of quote-unquote anti-synergy here. If you take a look at that top row, you have Articuno, Zapdos, or Moltres, but on that same row, you have defeat a legendary Pokemon. So, I mean, there's a little bit of anti-synergy there, and hey, I love seeing Skarmory.
There's a bit of anti-synergy there, but it's pretty good if you can find one of those legendary birds. You at least have information to find 2 of them, to catch one and kill the other.
No, that is absolutely true, and that's the one thing to keep in mind here is just because it says Articuno, Zapdos, or Moltres, this is a randomizer, so you're not necessarily going to see Articuno, Zapdos, or Moltres in a static location. Now that you wouldn't Crystal anyway, that's Suicune, Entei, and Raikou. But anytime you find them on the overworld, that counts.
So looking back at the card again, actually, real quick, we're looking at starters. We have a Gyarados.
Well,
Sunflora.
I don't think anyone's taking Sunflora.
Well, the Krabby is interesting because it is a trade poke, but I think most likely they're going to take the Gyarados just for the early strength.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about about this being Gen 2 here is Gyarados, while a strong Pokemon, didn't really come into its own until the physical special split, because right now all water moves it's going to receive are considered special, and its attack stat's going to be the highest. So Gyarados, definitely the best call here, but still an interesting one because of the way the moves work.
Now, the other thing to think about with the Gyarados is that it does give you easy access to a Pokemon with 4 moves sharing its type.
That is true, because water moves are plentiful.
It's already carrying Drill Peck.
Well, that's nice.
Stab Drill Peck to start on the Gyarados.
Well, that's amazing to see, and I believe we just saw a Noctowl there, which unfortunately not on the list.
Oh no, Noctowl is on the card.
Oh, it is.
So that is valuable information
Yep,
once they have some Pokeballs.
There it is. Yep, we have Crunch, Hyper Beam, Sunny Day, and Drill Peck on this Gyarados.
Not a bad moveset to start. The Gyarados is going to pick up a fair number of moves.
Yeah, but the only thing about Gyarados is, for the most part, it doesn't start learning anything until 20.
So we could see a little bit of early struggles if they opt to run the Gyarados. Taking a quick look here, both players have chosen different times of the day. I didn't see what day of the week they set their clocks to. I would imagine Tommo has set his to Friday, and I'm thinking Garf might have set his to Thursday. I saw he set the clock to 11 p.m., so he's probably just banking on checking the bug catching contest for a couple of slots before the clock rolls over.
Yep, and then the reason, of course, we want it to be Friday is because we have that defeat Lapras square, and Lapras, the static Pokemon, is only available on Fridays in the bottom of Union Cave.
Yeah, other than that, nothing else on this card is day related, but that might end up not being an issue if they find a Lapras on a random trainer.
Yeah, and that's the other thing about this is, I said, you see it on a random trainer, you see it as a wild Pokemon, it counts. The fun thing is going to be, I would expect to see some Dragon Fang. That's a nice early thing as well, especially if you come across Dragon type moves. The thing that strikes me as odd on this card, fun on this card, is we're going to have to find a Pokemon that's either close to evolving or evolves early, something like a Caterpie, a Weedle, something like that, because we have stopped the same Pokemon evolving 4 times. Yeah.
Typically, that sort of thing, you're going to want to find something like like one of the early bug evolutions, either Caterpie, Metapod, or Weedle, Kakuna. But anything will work later on, especially if you find something, say, like a Bulbasaur or another starter that's already close to level 16. Typically, one thing you'd want to avoid in that out of that list would be a Totodile because of the level 18 evolution. Cyndaquil at 14 would be pretty good, though.
Yeah, I will fully admit, usernames aside, and this has nothing to do with that, I am biased towards the grass type, so give me Bulbasaur or Chikorita, please.
I've always been a water starter kind of guy, so but to be fair, I want them to avoid Totodile if they're going to go for that goal.
Yeah, see, absolutely. I like Schadenfreude, so I kind of want to see them go for Totodile for that goal, but then again, that's just me.
So they both did take the Gyarados, which means that they're gonna have the Sunflora for the rival, which is pretty good. It's a non-threatening poke for your rival to be carrying the entire time.
Yeah, because if my memory serves me correctly, Sunflora is one of the weakest of Pokemon. I believe it actually has the lowest base stats of any Stage 1 Pokemon.
I believe that's right. I'd have to double check the numbers on that, but I know its base stats are horrendously low.
Yeah, it's right down there with the why. Why are you bothering to carry this?
Let's see. Sunflora's base stat total is 425. It's got 105 special attack, which makes it a decent special attacker, but with 30 base speed, it's gonna end up dead before it gets to do anything.
Yeah, so the other interesting thing that I'm taking a look at this card is we only have one item that sort of needs to be got for like a hold item, and that is the black glasses. Usually you see a couple of them on here, but only having the black glasses, that is an interesting one because if you haven't played this game before, there are, we set the days of the week, there are 7 siblings throughout this game. Each one of them is going to give you a different hold item. So also knowing how to manipulate that if you're looking for them is also, something great. And we have a Meowth being caught over on Garf's side and the Noctowl over on Tomo's side. So that's going to be some squares already taken care of.
Well, the black glasses are actually a static item in Dark Cave, as opposed to Day of the Week.
Yeah, true. I got excited to seeing Pokemon being caught, so
yeah.
I slipped off of that. But yeah, there are
That's
other
right.
ones like Poison. I know Poison Barb, for example. That's one of the ones you get from the Day of the Week siblings. But yeah, that is something to keep in mind when you're playing the game: is knowing which items like that are static and which ones are from the siblings.
That's one of those. That's another one of those situations where even with HMO5, if you don't know the path to get to the black glasses, you can find yourself in a little bit of trouble. The black glasses are, for a newer player, easier to find as opposed to getting the Lugia's room.
But that's like figuring out which direction the funhouse full of mirrors is easier to go with.
Fair enough. Somebody in chat has reminded me, Garf has set himself up in a better position for TM13. Being TM13 is Snore, available at the dairy farm. By making the mill tank better, you need to feed it 7 berries. So it's not a bad strategy to set your clock late, so you can go back and scoop up all the berries you collected the first time through.
Moo.
Tomo's finding his Meowth, though.
Yeah. And here's the other thing is you'll notice them immediately just throwing Pokeballs. That is because one of the randomizer settings we have here is catch rate has been improved, so you can just go ahead and throw Pokeballs. It gets rid of the whole frustration of, hi, my starter's level 45 and I have to go back to the first route to catch this level 3 something or other. Help me, I don't have false swipe.
Yeah. Typically early levels, though, it does not hurt. It would be better for him to weaken that, but he does still catch it, though. It does cost him several Pokeballs, though. That's a lot of resources burned.
So we have a trainer fight with an Abra here, and this actually is good information that both of our runners are going to get, because as you can see, Furret and Kadabra are both on... Oh, hey, look at that! We've got a Moltres already as a trainer Pokemon, so there goes that defeat legendary Pokemon, and we'll be able to find it in the wild. Nice and early.
There we go, yeah. Garf's making his way up Route 31 now. He's heading towards the Violet City. I wonder if he's going to check Dark Cave for anything. Might, just grab a couple of encounters in there. I don't think he will, though. I think he's going to be pretty happy with the Gyarados as a starter.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this isn't one of those situations where you have release your starter by level blank on the card. I believe it's level 11 is usually what it is.
Yep, level 11.
So yeah, those are always fun to see, especially when you go through your starters and you're just like, oh, I've got this amazing... Hi, Master Ball, how are you? I get distracted by shiny things very easily.
Fair enough. Ooh, that Moltres has Thunder Punch. That was painful.
That was, but we did survive, even through the quad weakness. Yes, Gyarados is water flying, not dragon. Don't let Lance fool you.
Lance, the biggest liar in Pokemon.
And the biggest cheater, because he definitely has a Game Shark Aerodactyl.
Fair enough. Yeah, and his he had a level 50 Dragonite in Gen 1.
Yeah, he had the level 50 Dragonite and the Rock Sliding Aerodactyl, both of which weren't possible. Oh, look, here's a Suicune with Thunder Punch.
That is a terrifying level 9. I have a feeling that this is going to... Well, Flash is on the card, so it's not going to be too horribly out of the way for Garf to go and pick that up now, which it does look like he's going to do. Actually, he's heading to the Mart first, probably to grab an escape rope, I would assume. Yep.
Yeah, but that's crazy. Having a legendary right there with Thunder Punch and you having a quad weakness, yeah, you need to go up to Sprout Tower here just for the experience.
So Tommo marked something, and there it is. Tommo has found a wild Lapras.
So that's huge for Tommo. Now, here's the other thing about this is a bingo card. Both our runners can see the bingo card. So you can pretty much guess where your opponent is based on where you are, especially this early in the game. So there's a chance that Gar's marking that off for later of, hey, 11 minutes in, I was in Violet City. Tommo marked off Lapras, so let's go to the route right before here and check for a Lapras.
Exactly. So it's one of those things that, we have APOM information too now. This card is generating a lot of early information.
Yeah, with all of this information, especially with APOM being on the card, things like that, Fly is going to be a huge deal. Because with Fly, you're going to be able to just continue on progressing forward, go through, get Fly, and then go back to all these routes and catch all these Pokemon that you need to catch. Go defeat the 4 trainers in the National Park if you want to do it on the backside. Get a Nidoqueen, get an APOM, things of that nature. Speaking of Nidoqueen,
I was gonna say, had we seen a Nidoqueen yet? And sure enough, you willed it.
Commentator's curse.
I think it's more of a blessing at this moment, and those are guaranteed trainers if they're going for HM05, which Tommo has opted to head straight for Sprout Tower. So he does save a little bit of time in heading towards the gym and finding out how terrifying that 9 is. Boy, if Ariados was on the card, this would be the absolute best ROM for information.
So far, it's been pretty good. I mean, we found Nidoqueen, we found APOM, we've already got Noctowl, Fearow, and Mankey Meowth taken care of. We only have to find where Murkrow, Mischievous are, Onix, Scyther, Furikadabra. I mean, we're getting a lot of information, and that's a lot of the long parts of this game are the end game where you're just going and hoping for your encounters to hit, getting the Pokemon right where they're supposed to be. So getting a lot of this information early is fantastic.
Now we do have some info on Furikadabra because they have seen an Abra. The first Pokemon and the first trainer before the Moltres was an Abra.
Right, and if they manage to find an Abra early, you can go cancel the evolution, then get a Kadabra and get 2 for the price of 1.
Exactly. There's a lot of options here. This ROM has been very lucrative early game here.
Yeah, but the one thing I've learned doing randomizers, whether it's been this one, whether it's been Z1, Z2, all the randomizers I've talked about and played, if the game starts off easy early, come the late game, you're pooched.
Oh, absolutely. Chad has brought up a good point. Onix Scyther on the card could prove to be interesting. Now, with things like Furikadabra and Nidoking, Nidoqueen, you have a lot of routes to get into them. Onix or Scyther has 2 options. You can either find them, or heaven forbid, you have to breed for them. And nobody wants to resort to breed strats.
However, breeding is not a bad option in this card because we do have 3 eggs.
Well, the problem with that, though, is that you have to keep those 3 eggs. So if you do hatch one of those eggs, that does take away from your egg count. But we have Slowpoke information, which makes Slowking very easy to get to, given that Slowpoke isn't in a terrible position.
Right, no, and here's the other thing to keep in mind is this is a randomizer. Just because you, in normal game, you would have to, equip the King's Rock, do all that. You have to, for Pokemon that would need a trade to evolve, there are ways around that because, this is the randomizer. We like things to happen like that. And hey, we've got a wild Raichu.
There you go. That's pretty cool. Everybody's little favorite chubby electric mouse. So the thing to bear in mind with this is the ROM that we are using, any trade evolution is obtainable without trade in this. Slowpoke to Slowking in this ROM is a Waterstone evolution. Waterstones are available for purchase as soon as you get to Goldenrod City. We have a Shuckle on Garf's screen. Now I'm happy.
Ditto. You're a Shuckle fan too?
I will. Chad is going to see it here. Let's go ahead and just post that real quick.
Shiny Shuckle, that's amazing.
Yeah, there we go. So if they can find a Slowpoke with relative ease, all they have to do is buy a Waterstone to evolve that to Slowking, and they'll have that goal done. This ROM has been fantastic for early information.
Yeah, absolutely. But I do have to say, you're sitting there with a shiny Shuckle. I do love my bug test, but I'm a shiny Scizor fan myself.
Fair enough. I have a shiny Shuckle plush sitting on top of my entertainment center. So
that's amazing. I have yet to find a shiny Scizor plush.
So Garf is headed back to the Pokemon Center. Tommo is now about to face the Suicune of Destiny here. And he's got to hope he one-shots this. He doesn't even get half.
Nope.
He does survive it. He has to hope he high rolls.
Here's the question.
He crit it.
Nice. I was going to ask, the question there is Stab Drill Peck better than Hyper Beam in that situation?
I believe it would be. I think the power difference between Hyper Beam might not be enough. I'd have to double check the actual. I'll double check the strength of both moves. I think Drill Peck is strong enough at that point.
That makes sense. And it looks like both of our runners did make it through the Suicune of Destiny.
I'm being told it's not in chat, so I could be wrong. I'm always willing to admit. Oh yeah. Oh, Hyper Beam is 150. So yeah. Drill Peck was not stronger, but at the same time, I think it's still the right play because you're talking 150 base power versus for over 2 turns versus 120 times 2 turns.
Right, but
that Hyper Beam would not have killed.
Right, but in that situation, if Drill Peck doesn't kill, you're dead anyway.
True. Yeah, I think Hyper Beam on the second turn would have been the safer play.
Yeah. But either way, we've got a Houndoom sighting. I do enjoy a good Houndoom.
Houndoom, no, they did change it to Houndour. So, there used to be a Houndoom goal.
I mean, Houndoom's not that bad. It evolves at 22, if my memory serves me correctly.
Yeah. So, let me see here. So Tommo has finished Faulkner. See what TM31 is. TM31 is Bubble Beam. That could be very useful. I mean, I know Gyarados doesn't have the greatest special,
but it is there for the sharing the same moves goal.
Well, you can save that, especially if you're going for the center goal. You can teach Whirlpool to Gyarados late once you don't have any fights that you have to worry about.
Yeah, Whirlpool, Surf, Bubble Beam, you're good, because we already have Drill Peck.
Yep. Well, you could also teach it Fly as well.
That's true.
So you may not necessarily need to teach Bubble Beam, but I think it would be good for just general coverage. He's got nothing really to deal with rock types. I mean, Crunch would work, but Stab Bubble Beam would be super effective. So I think that would be the better way to go if you're going to use it. You could always hold on to it and try to save it to sell for money if you're going for the buy all 3 game corners Pokemon, all 3 game corner Pokemon. I mean, at that point, the option's up to you. Both runners are actually right on top of each other. They're within a few feet of each other.
Yeah, but I do enjoy the Beedrill over the Jump Fluff, so we'll give that encounter to Tommo. I'm bug biased. What can I say?
Oh, man, I hear you. I don't blame you one bit. And there's another bug for you over on Garf's screen.
Yeah, we're getting all the bugs, and we got a Machamp.
One of these things is not like the other.
One of these things just doesn't belong.
So, taking another look at the card while they make their way south here, we do have two more goals that could synergize with each other if they find it. Murkrow, Misdreavus, and a Ghost-type Pokemon. Now, there's only 4 Ghost types in Gen 2. One of them being Misdreavus. If you can manage to find a Misdreavus, you do get 2 for the price of 1.
Yep, the other 3, of course, being Ghastly, Gengar, and Haunter.
So far we have no information on evolutions. That's the one thing. That's one of the few things we haven't got. And
you
I
had
spoke
to
too
say
soon.
something,
I have
didn't you?
spoken too soon. Garf catching that Eevee instantly. Tomo's gonna find one as well.
So if I'm these guys, I stay around here and I catch a second Eevee in this cave.
I should just keep talking about things that they need to find. I'm giving them everything right now.
No, you need to stop that. I want Schadenfreude. You're not giving us Schadenfreude.
Oh, was there Flareon info? I must have missed that.
I did too.
That's a shame.
I was too busy, spouting over everything else.
Oh,
and there's the Abra.
They found the Abra. There's another Dragon Fang.
Oh, Garf opting to run.
It's not a bad idea to run from that. Because you can always double check its location later. You might be able to find it at a higher level a little bit later on.
No, I mean it does make sense. It's just one of those hi T-Top.
That would have been fun to see a little bit earlier. Could have had a T-Tar main.
Yeah, T-Tar's one of the prettiest girls at the ball.
I wouldn't kick T-Tar out of bed for eating crackers.
You just don't know how to talk to them then. You just gotta make them feel good about themselves, then they'll be fine.
So Garf is going ahead and catching the second Eevee here.
I mean, it makes sense. You're right here. You're not going to have to look for it, and now you're just 2 stones away. Boom, Firestone, Waterstone, Vaporeon, Flareon. Call it good. Also, getting the 12.5% with the female Eevee.
It does give him options to breed if he so chooses. It means he could drop those off at the daycare from the word go.
Yeah, it does set up the 3 eggs incentive nicely. And we did get the TM from below in Union Cave. It was Metronome.
So Metronome only race when?
I'm down. Let's go.
We've got So yeah, they did end up picking up a Poison Barb earlier, which isn't on the card. Could have been. This ROM has been just a giving tree of information and fun.
And now I want to go read the book again. Thank you.
So both runners making their way into Azalea. Tomo, they're both going to check that back item. It is a lemonade.
Would you want lemonade from the back of a well like that? I don't know if I'd want that. I'm pretty sure it's not lemonade.
Yeah, I think I'd be a little inclined to avoid that at that point.
Yeah, definitely a little inclined to be like, yeah, no.
So Garf is going to get his shopping done before he heads over to Kurt's house. Is Tomo going to stop for... Tomo's going to skip item shopping. That's an interesting decision. The Azalea Mart sells super potions. That would have been something to have just in case they run into another Pokemon with Thunder Punch.
Of course, super potions are going to restore the 50 HP as opposed to the 20 from regular potions.
Yeah. Garf now heading over to Kurt's house. I mean, it's one of those things like you could skip repels there if, don't use repels wasn't on the card. But I don't know about skipping the super potions. It's an interesting strategy. If he feels he doesn't need them, then he does save a little bit of time by not shopping there.
I mean, this could also be a case where, this is your first time doing it, and Tommo's admitted this is his first race, so it could be nerves. Like, wait, I know the person I'm going up against. I know this name. I have to take a couple of risks to try and give myself any advantage possible. It could be one of those scenarios as well.
Well, Tommo is a bit of a regular on our casual Cinco Bingo community, so he does have some experience with this. But yeah, you never know how the big stage of a tournament like this is going to affect the mentality of a racer.
Yeah, I mean, I know point blank. I do a lot of Zelda 1 randomizer, and if the person, like, I know my skill set, and if the person I'm playing against, I know if they can execute better than I can. I'm a riverboat gambler to begin with, but if I know the person I'm going against is a better player than I am, I will absolutely take risks, probably unnecessary risks, to try and give myself an advantage. And speaking of giving myself an advantage, both of our are going to have the advantage of knowing where Nidorino is now, as we just saw one on the rocket encounter.
Yeah, that's not bad information to have in the event that the Nido Queen they found earlier is in a horrible spot. You'd hate to see it. You'd hate to see it that when you check its Pokedex information, that area screen pops up absolutely empty.
Which means it's in Kanto somewhere, and we did have the Bubble Beam being taught to Gyarados over on Garf's side.
Not a bad play. I think the stab Bubble Beam is the right play.
Hi, Ho-Oh.
That
Bubble Beam is going to be huge with that Ho-Oh right there.
That is a rock throw Ho-Oh. Luckily, not a ton of damage coming in from that Ho-Oh. That 14 being a Ho-Oh could have been a huge wall for these guys, especially if it was carrying something like a Thunderbolt.
Oh god, T-Bolt Ho-Oh.
But Tommo did take the initiative to save before that fight. You don't want to go into that blind.
No, absolutely not. And now we're going to see some Bugsy here.
Tommo taking the left twin. I wonder if Garf will take the right twin, or if he'll just go ahead and take the path straight up and get the left twin.
Is there a difference in twins?
So, depending on which twin you fight, you will see different Pokemon, actually. So the left twin...
Yes, because this was before double battles were a thing.
Yep. So depending on which twin you fought in Vanilla, depending on which twin you fight, you either get Lediba and then Spinarak, or Spinarak and then Lediba. They did have the same Pokemon, but it was a different order of in which you would fight them. In this randomizer, though, you get horrendously different fights.
We're getting left twin. Both going left twin.
Yeah. Typically, you'll see them take the left twin because you're heading to the left anyway. The one poke on the left-hand side is a little bit easier than, I believe it's 3 on the kid on the right. I have not done glitchless in a while. But we'll see what Bugsy has mischievous information.
That's huge information right there.
This card is, this is in my wildest dreams, I would never expect to get a card, ROM like this.
Well, this is what happens when you generate them.
Yeah, I mean, why couldn't somebody have made this for me tomorrow?
Well, remember T-Tar we were talking about?
Hey, he's back. Now, the thing to remember, Tommo did not teach Bubble Beam, so he does get the crit. It would have been a 3-shot otherwise on the Tyranitar, whereas Garf should actually just one-shot the Tyranitar.
Well, not necessarily a one-shot with the Bubble Beam, because remember, T-Tar's Dark Rock, it's only 2x weak as opposed to 4x weak.
You're right about that. We'll see how much the super effective plus the stab comes into play.
And of course, for those of you who are just turning in who don't know what the heck we're talking about when we say stab, that refers to same type attack bonus, where you get a 1.5 times bonus to your move type if it shares a type with the Pokemon using it. And we go from Mama Tar to Baby Tar.
No, you're right. Actually, it did still do more damage than the Drill Peck, but wasn't enough to kill. Now, Garf switched to Drill Peck to try to finish to save the Bubble Beam and didn't quite get there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have got Powdered Snow Gyarados. I repeat, we have got Powdered Snow Gyarados.
Rival has a Magmar as well. So we'll see if we'll see if Garf goes for the Bubble Beam on it. The Drill Peck was enough to get the job done. Sure. Did I miss that?
Miss what?
I'm being told Drill Peck did more, but Tommo just found a Ghost type.
Yep, we have our Gengar. Hey, look, Misdreavus, nowhere in Johto.
That is rough. That is horrible.
Good news over there for Garfield, though. Apom on the same route as Lapras. And Nidorino can be found. Looks like we're going to need some Headbutt to get Nidorino. Or it could be in the tower, one of the two. And Nidorino also in the Whirl Islands, so that's going to be good for the Lugia.
Yeah, that was Tin Tower. It looked like for Nidorino.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was offset. Hey, look at that! There's Murkrow. Are you kidding me right now?
That is insane. He ran from it. He's probably. You know what? Let me rephrase.
Out of Pokeballs.
Oh, is he? Okay.
More than likely.
It would have actually. So here's the thing, though. So the other thing it could have been, I might have missed if he ran out of Pokeballs, is that if he found it and Garf doesn't find it, that's information he gets to hold to himself. Even though they have. No, they didn't see a Murkrow. They only saw the Misdreavus before.
Right, and Gar go ahead and check the Misdreavus, and it didn't appear on the map. So Misdreavus is in Kanto.
So it's one of those things. If Tommo got lucky and that's like a 10% encounter slot, then there's a chance Garf might not run into it, and he can come back and catch it later without giving any information away to Garf as to where he found that. Now, he already caught a Ghost-type Pokemon, which if Garfield finds the Gengar, that seems to be a 30% encounter slot, or 20% encounter slot here with how often it's showing up. Garf would be able to deduce just from finding the Gengar and then seeing like where Tommo marked the Ghost type and then the Murkrow Misdreavus tile.
Hi, Wild Lugia. How are you?
That's this ROM and it's legendary. Yeah, the other thing to keep in mind, Headbutt does not show up on the Pokedex, so there is always a chance that when something doesn't show up, it could be a Headbutt slot. But
true. And Meowth with 4 normal type moves going to get that corner for Tommo. Cut.
That goes pretty easy when you find things like that.
Yeah, Cut, Flash, False Swipe, and Thrash.
Well, it looks like a trip to Dark Cave is not in anybody's future. He's marked black glasses.
Probably, because keep in mind, we're on delay there. So, yeah, it's probably the item that the encounter was right there in front of. So, yeah, I definitely do agree with you here. He's probably holding back on the Murkrow information.
It's not a bad play, especially if Garf doesn't see it. But he's run into a couple, and the encounter rate in Ilex Forest isn't so low that you might not find it. But it's still the right play, I think. Hold off, come back for it a little bit later on, and don't give away more than you need to.
Yeah, absolutely. Although what's funny here is it's looking as if Garf hasn't even run into the Gengar either. So the two things here in Ilex that you would need, the Gengar and the Murkrow, Garf hasn't run into either of them.
Looks like Tommo is going to go ahead and pick up the Murkrow now.
I think at this point he has used enough time that it could be feasible for Gar to think that Murkrow is on the route you're going to right now, right above the Ilex Forest, as opposed to in the forest proper.
That's a fair point, because he may not realize that Tommo is headed over for Headbutt, or he started to head for Headbutt. He's turned around, actually.
He went for the hidden item on the ground.
Grabbing Headbutt might not have been a bad play with for the Gyarados. It would have been another normal type option rather than Hyper Beam, but
Tomo is full on items.
So we'll see. Garf's not going to check the hidden item at the daycare. No real reason to. I mean, you might want to find some money items for buy all 3 game corner pokes, but with black glasses already found, there's no item-specific goals that you have to worry about finding.
Nope, we are going to increase our movement speed here as bicycle.
Oh my gosh, now that song's going to be stuck in my head the rest of the day.
I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike.
Tom, oh my gosh. Tomo goes back to check the items, still with a full back. I'm so broken. I'm still a kid.
Hey, sharp beak, you can give that to Gyarados to power up the drill pack.
Wouldn't be a bad idea. It looks like found a quick claw.
Yeah, they found that super early, and hey, we're gonna get super stylish and snazzy here as we're going underground because not only do we have to go under here to get the coin case, but it's haircut time.
The haircut's always one of those goals that we joke around about how it's so hard to find information for it. Just as a general meme, like, oh man, how'd you find the haircut place? So it's always fun to see that one get marked off. We always have ourselves a little laugh with that one.
Yep. Ooh, Charmeleon.
So we'll see if Garf goes ahead and buys the I think the strat here, because it doesn't look like he's going to drop off the EVs. He's going to buy 2 of the 100 coin game corner Pokemon. And as long as it's something that can breed, it's not a bad play.
Yes, but can you guarantee you get 1 male and 1 female?
No, especially when you see, especially in the event that you get it where the 100 coin poke is a starter, and you get that 7/8 to be male. You end up, I've reset for that a couple of times trying to get that. Ooh, Garf's inventory is full, trying to buy his stones to evolve his EVs.
Well, we can go ahead and you can sell, there's the Pearl you can sell.
Sell the Max Repel since you can't use it.
Yep.
Both players now in the mart selling stuff.
So yeah, picking up the second Water Stone there, that's really going to be for the Poliwrath or the Slowking, depending on which one we find.
Well, I believe he did catch a Slowpoke. I think he did find one. If not, he has it just in case, though. So both of them evolving EVs. Tomo has his done first.
Yep, we got some Flareon action, some Vaporeon action. I would like to point out that both of our runners opted to get the 2 evolutions that I spoke about, Flareon and Vaporeon, so good for them.
I've always been a Flareon fan myself, so.
I'm a little biased for my favorite evolution, but I'm pretty sure taking a look at my, my username, which is my actual last name, you can figure out my favorite one.
It's Glaceon, right? Totally Glaceon.
Totally Glaceon, yeah. I live in Maine. I'm 8 or 2 feet of snow right now, and I want the ice type. But there's our second egg. We have the odd egg.
Now, we do have, as chat pointed out, we do have Slowpoke information. Both trainers have seen a Slowpoke so far. I believe it was on a required trainer. And Garf's going to go ahead and deposit both those eggs. It's very important to remember to do that. The last thing you need is one of those hatching to where you have to then produce another egg.
Yep. So you saw there really quickly, Gar went ahead and deposited the Gyarados. That's one of my favorite tricks in this game. Because depositing into the PC will heal your Pokemon. It's a nice go-around for you can't use Pokemon centers.
So Garf did go ahead and put both of his EVs into the daycare to breed. So not a bad, that's a good idea, actually. Since you already have it, you don't have to worry about the 100 coin mon. Ooh, Garf with a movement error, it looks like, hitting this one rotator. Normally there's a very easy movement you can do on Route 35 that lets you avoid
did you
all of
see
those
what Kenya
trainers.
was?
I missed it. What was Kenya?
Well, I didn't see exactly what Giraffe Rig Moltres is a game corner mon.
Ooh.
That's
If
awesome.
they don't find information on that later, that could be...
We
that'll
have
go
the
with the
information
buy all
on
3.
Yeah, we have the information on Moltres, but it's a game corner Pokemon, which is synergizes. But no, the symbol next to Kenya was Poliwag.
That could save them the time of finding the Slowpoke. It could already be a Poliwrath. We don't know.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Garf waiting out the cycle on those spinners. I hope Tommo checks it. It's a Polytoad.
It's a Toad! Oh!
It is the one that they did not want to see. You found the big frog. So I just realized Tommo set his day for... So Tommo had set his day for Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday. Now, it doesn't matter since he did find a Lapras, but odd choice to pick Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday, knowing that if you hadn't found a Lapras already, you would have to go to Union Cave.
Yeah, so far we're seeing Ampharos and Abra here in the National Park. We got our A Pokemon here, the A team. Oh, here's a side again. Hey, look, if you didn't have an evolution, have an Espeon, everybody.
Yeah, both players opting to take the bug catching contest. Now, the thing with the bug catching contest is most of these routes are going to have 7 encounter slots per section of grass. Like if you go onto a route, the grass will have 7 encounter slots. If you go into the water, it'll have 3. The bug catching contest is unique in the fact that it has 10 encounter slots. It's a lot of potential information you're picking up, especially if you find something that, you know, maybe your opponent doesn't find. Say Tommo lucks into a Scyther here.
Well, here's the thing: is they did find Scizor over in Ilex Forest. So again, there's that whole you might have to breed for one.
They've got so much information though at this point. I doubt Scyther is going to be necessary to win. They've got a lot of good paths. Breed strats are not a thing. They will never be a thing.
Well, I disagree with you because Gar is got 2 EVs in the daycare right now breeding for the 3rd egg, so breed strats are a thing.
That's... Oh my gosh. Let me see here. They've got a lot of good ways to finish this card actually. As Garf heads for Whitney. Now Tommo caught a Growlithe. Did he see something on the... No, what would he have... I'm not sure why he caught the Growlithe. Unless he's trying to win the bug catching contest.
But we already got a Sunstone. We don't need to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's... I mean, because you can
might just be habit.
Fair enough. I mean, because you can't stop stone evolutions. You can't stop stone evolutions from evolving, and I don't necessarily think you need to... Well, he's getting the berry anyway, which is good for the snore goal. But yeah, as far as defeating the 4 trainers in National Park, real quick actually, shout outs to our boy Paradoxical Remedy and his absolute love of Delibird. The only time somebody will ever love Delibird. But yeah, he can always come back and do the 4 trainers in the National Park. I don't know. I think it's typically better to get the extra experience, but I mean, each player is going to do it their own way, honestly.
Yeah, and meanwhile, we're sitting here talking about, you know, Delibirds and bug catching contests. Garfield just completely wrecked Whitney.
Yeah,
Which
Whitney's...
it's always cathartic to wreck Whitney in randomizers because, let's be honest, as a kid, Whitney and her Miltank completely destroyed you. Let's be honest.
And then you grow up and you realize that Miltank was never the problem. It was the metronome Clefairy.
Yeah.
So, Tommo finding a Hoot Hoot. If he didn't already have the Noctowl Fearow goal, you'd have information on that. Both trainers, I believe, saw the Noctowl earlier when they didn't have Pokeballs. So I believe Garf does have information on that.
We also have one of my favorite underrated Pokemon. That is Xatu.
Ah, Psychic Burb.
Yes, Psychic Burb.
Oh, we got a Wiggly-Woo!
Wiggly-Woo! Wiggly-Woo! We love you, Keys.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Keyzeron and his absolute love of Wiggly. Electabuzz, not on the card this time. So, they've got a lot of ways to go ahead and finish. Now, we don't know what all that they've seen is going to be easily accessible. I didn't see Nidoqueen's location, but there's a lot of different paths that they can take to finish.
Yeah, as we saw, we did see the Nidorino in the Whirl Island. So, with, of course, needing to catch a Pokemon in Lugia's room, those are kind of a thing. Oh, hi, Mew.
It would work out well if Nidorino ends up being in Lugia's room. But there's just so many encounter slots in Whirl Island. You pretty much, in a race like this, you have to write off Whirl Island as a place to catch things. It's just too many encounter slots to worry about. Yeah, it wasn't... I believe somebody said it was in Dark Cave as well, so it is an option. I had to see I have to go back and see the Nidoqueen information as well. Unless they happen to stumble into one. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, do it.
Game, don't you listen to him, okay? You've listened to him enough. That's enough, okay? Do not listen to him. We want to see some pain. We want to see some struggling.
So, Garf's now working his way through the kimono. Tommo was checking the TM. I don't know if he...
Baby Jinx.
Baby blessings upon us. He checked the TM. I don't know if he's hoping for it to be TM 13 to avoid having to farm up the berries, since he didn't set his clock to like 11 o'clock at night to go back and collect the ones he's gotten already. There are plenty of berries to collect that you wouldn't have to reset the clock, but typically a little bit easier if you can just let the clock roll over. We got Steelix information. I mean, advocating breed strats.
I mean, we've got Steelix and we've got Scizor. Just saying.
Tommo's going to hit that same rotator that small movement error on his way back towards Goldenrod. Garf has picked up Surf, so he should be teaching that over Bubble Beams shortly.
We're getting baseball strats as well because we got a fastball.
Garf's going to go ahead and see what Rival 3 has in store. Garf found an amulet coin. That is huge. That is a huge find, especially with 3 Game Corner Pokemon on the card.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when we are going to go ahead and need all that money. We're going to double our money from things. Yeah. And he's like, oh, it's a frog. Oh.
I can hear the disappointment in his voice now. He probably saw that and just died a little inside.
I'm pretty sure he was croaking a little bit.
Boo. It's terrible. Oh my gosh.
I waited almost 50 minutes to break up my first pun. Okay? Give me some credit.
So Garf's rival, the rival is going to leave. It shouldn't be too much to worry about. They're kind of just hoping to see some information, preferably an Onix or a Scyther.
Gyarados learning disable. Gyarados with the disable. He just sort of looking at you like, look, I'm scarier than you. Don't you think about using that. Don't you think about that. Don't you think about that. Just picture Gyarados trying to just go full on, like, logic somebody out of roll on move. That's Gyarados with disable.
And Garf didn't teach Surf over Bubble Beam. Interesting choice. I don't know if he just forgot to or if he's not going to worry about it. That's Poliwrath.
That's a Poliwrath, so that's some information.
So that'll work out if you can find that. You won't have to waste the time evolving the Slowpoke. It would just be a difference of a few seconds if you can find that super easy. So, unfortunately, do I have... I'm terrible with cries, so I didn't actually hear those.
Yeah, I should know it, too. God, it was... It's something... It was...
Chat will hook us up. I guarantee you Chat will hook us up. With
the thing is, I should know that cry, too.
Now, if Chad doesn't hook us up with what those cries were, I'll be disappointed. I actually have my game audio turned down.
I never go with game audio when I'm doing commentary unless it's necessary. I did turn up to hear the cries, though.
I didn't get mine turned up in time. I actually thought I just did. It's Nidoran. That might be... If Nidoqueen's not in a good spot, that Nidoran could be useful.
Yeah, again, this is all a matter of information.
Hey, there's Totodile. How you doing, friend? Tomo seeing that Apom is in a very favorable... Garf did check that earlier. So... Now, I missed what the Sudowoodo was, but let's take a visit back to the past here. Oh, that's right. That was the Electabuzz.
Yeah, but we saw that Wobbuffet.
Little Wobbuffet action over there.
Yeah, it's funny seeing a Wobbuffet because as doing commentary for other randomizers, there's a couple people I work with, so I'll say, yeah, we're gonna do this. Why not? And their automatic response will be Wobbuffet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. See, even not in Pokemon Randomizer, we meme.
Oh my gosh. What have I gotten myself into? Both players, though, in the Ecruteak Center getting the Bill cutscene out of the way. Garf, well ahead progression-wise over Tomo. Garf coming back from Morty's gym after beating the first trainer, whereas Tomo has just arrived in Ecruteak. He's behind the entirety of the Kimono Girls and Rival 3. But Garf does have a little bit more information than... Tomo does have a little bit more information than Garf does, because I don't think Garf saw the Murkrow at all.
I believe you are correct.
Now, we did discuss it earlier. He might think that it's going to be outside of Ilex Forest, considering he knew when Tomo picked up the black glasses.
Yeah, so it definitely makes sense there that he thinks it's Route 34.
Same with the Ghost-type Pokemon. He marked that just before Black Glasses. So Garf should be able to come to the conclusion that it's going to be in Ilex Forest. And Noctowl and Fearow they both saw. So that's the real difference in information.
Yeah, I find it odd that we saw so many Gengar encounters on Tomo's side and not a single one on Gar's side. Right, but now we're getting to that point where we're starting to figure out, or at least have a general idea, where our runners are going to be going to finish off their cards. I mean, Tomo's got, one square away from 2 bingos, Heracross, Pinsir, Apom, and stop the same Pokemon from evolving 4 times. That's 2 bingos right there. Probably going to see both of those. Knowing full well that Moltres is a game corner Pokemon, we're probably going to see that taken care of. I mean, so there's definitely a lot of, quote-unquote easy options to get some bingos. It's going to be getting that last bingo that seems like it's going to be the hard part. I
feel like at this point they could just ignore Oh, we do have Furret information, so the Abra evolution issue might not be a problem. I think we are more inclined to see them skip Onyx Scyther and TM13 at this point. There's a lot of easy options to finish that don't require either of those. Especially for Garf, who already has his third egg started. I don't know that Tommo started his third egg. I did miss a bit of what Tommo did in Goldenrod, trying to keep up with Garf and his complete blitz through Morty's gym now.
Yeah, I don't believe we had a third egg started.
Garf making his way to Olivine.
And of course, one of the required things here, so we're going to take the required trainer.
So you do have a choice of which one you fight. You can either fight the man or the woman. You typically fight the man because the man gives you a path back from Olivine if you feel so inclined to fly skip, or you have to ride back from Olivine to say go get Snore, for instance. If you fight the woman, you would still have to fight the man to get back. So most runners will typically take the male Pokefan there. I've thrown around the idea of fighting both of them just to get the information, but it's a waste of time.
It's only a waste of time until it isn't a waste of time.
True. Fair enough. You are right about that, man. Garf's going to go ahead and pick up strength and most likely make his way down to... should be making his way down to Chuck in Cyanwood City.
Yeah, to me, like, that's one of the fun little, things about the American translation of this game, because people give a lot of crap to, the translation. Oh, well, it's not like it should be in Japan, all that. But some of the fun things that they've done, Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, and Chuck, to me, that's hilarious. What they did there with the fighting types. Of course, referencing Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, and Chuck Norris. Was that a face desk?
No, I was sorry. I was setting a glass of water down.
Oh, it seemed like it was a... that seemed like... Wait, why am I face desking for telling actual facts? It's like I made a horrible pun or something. Come on!
So Polyrath is actually on the route between Lake of Rage and Mahogany Town.
So that's
it's not
huge.
a bad position. Slowpoke's in Union Cave, as well as I believe that was east of Eckerteak. Which is not a bad position. East of Eckerteak's not a bad spot to find that. The Polyrath might just be easier since most likely we're heading up to Lake of Rage anyway, since we need to go up there to pick up Whirlpool. Garf is going to check out what Shucky is. In before it's Onyx.
Scyther. Give me some Scyther, baby.
He'll check that in a moment. Optimal menu, and he's not going to check it until he needs to, I guess. Or that's
It's
Jiggly?
a Jigglypuff.
It's a Zoomerl.
Zoomerl.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I forgot that a Zoomerl shares that menu sprite.
Yep. See, unfortunately, this is not the new gen where Zoomerl gets, huge power, play rough, and the fairy type.
Oh, man. Current gen of Zoomerl. What a monster. Gen 2? It's all right.
I mean, hashtag better than Sunflora.
Better stats than Curlia.
Also, we've got a Raikou encounter over here, and getting the Dragon Breath Paraproc.
Dragon Breath, I believe it's... Dragon Breath is a pain sometimes, especially with its high paralysis chance.
Yep, it's like, is it 20 or 30? It's something. We'll just leave it at that. It's something.
It's 30. It's 30. So I saw the Primeape, and my mind spaced over on Tommo's
we
side.
got a Sparking Shelder.
Ooh. I don't think Garf bought... he did.
Yeah, he definitely did. He definitely bought Revive.
I love that every time I have a thought, they're proving me wrong. I do appreciate that. You got to keep me in check here, guys.
Welcome to the commentary booth, where everything you say is probably made up and your points don't matter.
I'm usually good for information, though. This is I'm everybody all aboard the struggle bus. Let's go.
Is that like the Charger bus?
The Charger bus is fantastic.
Hey, if we're gonna go Pokemon, we might as well go deep into all the gens.
Yeah, the Mach Punch from the Shelter. Shelter throwing hands at Garf now. He got it away from the Spark back there and was like, "Catch these hands."
Whoa, hold on. Did you just turn Shelter into Braun Strowman?
Possibly. Braun Shelter.
Braun Shelter.
So Tommo's gonna go ahead and get this the first from Morty as well. We might get to see where that's at. It's in a decent spot on the card. If only they had Onyx Scyther info, it would be useful for 2 bingos. But even so, it still helps with column 3. And Garf should know where that Lapras was, but not necessarily guaranteed.
Well, the other good thing for him with that Lapras is he's going to go back to that route searching for the Apom anyway. So there's a chance he runs into Lapras before he runs into the Apom.
So it's all a question of, does he go for the Apom before he heads to Union Cave to just get the guaranteed Lapras encounter? Because that could save him some time if he happens into it. Garf's clock is set. It should have just rolled over to Friday a minute and a half ago.
Friday.
I'm going to ask you not to sing that song ever again.
I'm going to ask myself to never sing that song ever again.
So Garf's going to start Chuck here. Hopefully while he's getting his fly HM here, he gets some information. Cyndaquil's not going to do it. You've been officially asked to never sing again.
Yeah, but it's Toaster, so I don't listen to him. Love you, Toasty.
It's more Nidoran information. We already had it, but it's nothing new coming out of Chuck here. Tommo is going to make it to Olivine. TM01 is Meditate, so nothing useful there. Most of no, there's still some fighting left to do. Moltres. Moltres is in New Barktown Water. That is really easy info to use. It's the best place to find it. I think the other 2 places was Mount Silver and Whirl Island. So
true, but you forget about the 4th place where it's also the Game Corner.
Well, there's a lot of options for them to skip by all 3 Game Corner Pokemon here. I can't imagine they would. He checked the Game Corner mons, didn't he?
I believe it was just Tommo who did that, and we are seeing some sweet scent strats, and we are rewarded with the Butterfree, not the flying type Gar wanted.
So yeah, if Garf hasn't checked the
Little Bear,
if Garf didn't check the coin case mons, he's going to kick himself a little bit later on. He's losing a bit of time here, especially if he does end up going for the buy all 3 Game Corner mons.
And apparently I'm just, memeing keys like nobody's business today.
There's the Moltres, though. He has found it. Looks like it might have been the 30. Might have been the 30% there.
Maybe. But anyway, we got ourselves a Moltres. I love the fact that you can catch a Moltres at full health with a Pokeball on this ROM.
It's a beautiful thing about quote-unquote minimum catch rate. It works when you don't necessarily need it to, but when you're desperate for it to work, it never works.
60% of the time, it works all the time.
So Garf's going to go ahead and head over to Mahogany Town and Lake of Rage. pick up Whirlpool to head towards that Lugia's room goal, as well as getting some extra money for buying Game Corner Mons. Such a huge financial investment that buy all 3 Pokemon goal.
Yeah, but the good thing is that amulet coin was huge, and it looks like was that another movement error there getting caught?
Yeah, he let the hiker hit him there. That was slight movement error on his part. Yeah, I didn't see. Did Tommo pick up the amulet coin?
I don't know.
Tommo is going to see that Shucky is a big old disappointment.
I mean, how can that be a disappointment? Look at it; it's adorable, and it does have a berry, which does help for TM13.
You're right about that.
But I mean, Azumarill is so cute. How can that be a disappointment?
Until it picks up huge power and becomes fairy, it's a disappointment. It's okay. Until it picks up huge power, it's a disappointment.
Fine. Be that way. And both of our runners getting paraprocked from the Raikou Dragon Breath. And speaking of dragon, we've got a Kingdra over on the other side.
One of the other goals that could have potentially been on this card is catch a dragon type Pokemon. Same count as ghost types, only 4 of them.
That, of course, being Dratini, Dragonair, Dragonite, and Kingdra.
I've been corrected. Whirlpool plus Perish Song is good. My apologies.
No, we got more Bronze Shelders happening over on the other side.
Yeah. So both of them catch the Raikou Dragon Breath Paralyze, and then the Shelder. Luckily, he didn't have to deal with the spark from the Shelder. That would have been devastating. Looks like Garf is looking for the Poliwrath.
Instead, finds a Meowth. And this right here is one of the underrated skills that runners not necessarily need to have, but should have information on. And there's the Poliwrath. Is, as you were talking about earlier, the number of encounters on every route, so you can go ahead and mark them off.
Yep. Did you just move that breakfast cereal bowl from earlier?
I did. Did you know that Walmart sells the giant, 10-pound bags of Fruity Pebbles?
I was slightly aware.
I didn't know that till I came home one day and one of my roommates goes, "Oh, by the way, there's cereal. I'm looking for a box." He goes, "No, it's the giant bag." I'm like, "Holy crap, why do we need this many Fruity Pebbles?" And then I realized we're all large men. That's why we need that many Fruity Pebbles.
So Garf did pick up the Poliwrath. He's going to check the shiny. He's hoping it's some.
Show me shiny Scyther.
Now, I would say that would be an information advantage for Garf, but Tommo has already checked the Pokedex for where that Poliwrath would be.
Yep, shiny Houndoom.
Just looks like he froze to death.
Yeah, I mean, he is sitting out there on the lake, so.
Some of the shiny sprites in Gen 2 were disappointing.
Yeah, the last time I did one of these, it was a shiny Horsey, and it was just, there was nothing different. It was just disappointing.
The scariest one is shiny Slugma. It's just gray. It's dead. It's actually just dead.
It's actually just dead.
Looks like Garf's going to go back and check his eggs, most likely. Yeah, it looks like he's clearing out an inventory, a Pokemon slot for his egg, and most likely going to check the Eevee as well.
I mean, might as well. You're here.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. So both players are going to be into the cleanup phase of the. Tommo's still going to need to head towards Lake of Rage, but Garf is very clearly in cleanup mode. Excuse me. Start figuring out a path for him. He's got info on a lot of gold. I mean, he's gonna have row 1 done. Column 1 isn't too hard because he's already seen the Noctowl.
Also, can I point out the fact that we're flying on a Polytoad?
Flying frog. We're coming up in the world.
Yep.
Garf's gonna go ahead and buy. Garf is about to be disappointed when he sees. Yeah. There was like a brief pause there as he looked the list over and realized.
I just wasted about a minute and a half.
He was there for. I think it was like 4 encounters looking for the Moltres. Both players in Goldenrod now. Garf's heading back to check on his egg, while Tommo is most likely clearing out his inventory for the same thing. The egg has been produced.
So good thing is you won't be scrambling for eggs later.
God.
And
God.
We've got our first bingo.
Yeah. Garf has finished row 1 with his 3 eggs.
And don't sit there and, oh god, I warned you when we started the bad puns were going to be flowing.
Hey, just because I was warned doesn't mean I have to.
No one ever said you had to like it. I'm just saying you were warned.
The egg goes over. I'm done. I hate you guys. You're done. So, all right. So Garf is out on Route 31. He's going to be looking for the Apom. He might come across he has come across the Lapras.
So he's super happy for that one as well.
So that does save him a trip into Union Cave. It does save him a little bit of time in going there. Yeah, you didn't warn the chat about your puns. So, shame.
Yeah, true, but most anyone who's ever heard me do commentary anywhere knows I do horrible puns.
True, Garf still has that egg in his party. Now, while it's not likely that it's going to hatch before he finishes, it is a risk he's taking. Yeah, the early game luck for Tommo's kind of kicking back right now.
Yeah, so basically, here's my thing is, so with all of these horrible puns, would you say you're cracking?
I plead the 5th. No,
Jack, Jim, Johnny, Jose, pick your 5th.
So he's setting up. Did he get 2 different? Yeah, okay, he's fine. He's just now. Tommo is just now setting up his 3 eggs. That is a huge setback for Tommo. There's not much movement left to do, honestly. I mean, he still has to head for Lake of Raid, but he's burned up a lot of the mid-game movement that he could have used to produce that egg. Meanwhile, Garf has... Yep.
We've got Apom.
So Garf's going to get his Apom here. Now, he knows where the Noctowl is. He knows where the Noctowl is. He knows how to get TM13. He has Furret information. Garf is really close to being done.
Yeah, Garf using the Apom using Curse to increase its defense to allow him to damage it and not kill it. Excellent use of knowing what's going on.
Garf's heading back to Mahogany. He's gonna... Heading towards Ice Path. I might have missed some information.
There was a Pokemon here that was over on this in this area, if I remember correctly.
Or he might actually just be heading for
Claire?
For Call of Black Belt. The Black Belt is in this direction. The only Black Belt that you can get a phone number from in Johto is just past Blackthorn City. So Tommo's going to see that the Poliwrath and the Slowpoke are both available, and he's going to have to weigh his option. That's the thing. Both of these are very experienced players at the Cinco Bingo format.
Also, insert stereotypical ice level here.
Yeah, Tommo plays for a lot of fun. There's one thing about Mr. Tommo that I can say is that Tommo always has a good time no matter what he's doing. He just finds the positives in everything. And that's a very good credit to him as a player and as a person. He's entertaining to watch. So both these guys know their stuff, though. That's the thing to remember.
Yeah, this has been a surprisingly, fun race considering all the early information we had.
So Garf is heading down for the black belt. It looks like.
Yeah. So we get the call of black belt. We get the Noctowl or Firo. The next question becomes, where do we go from here?
Let's see. So if he gets the black belt, he knows where Noctowl Firo is. Call 1, row 1, row 4. Huh.
I mean, Snore is definitely a good option. All the berries there, and then you go Murkrow Ghost type, I guess. And you can completely avoid doing Lugia's room.
Yeah, Snore Lugia would be another way to go about it.
Yeah, I mean, so it's looking like at this point, Snore Lugia is going to be the option, or Snore Murkrow Gengar.
4. I think, honestly, he doesn't know exactly where Murkrow or the Ghost type are, so I'm pretty much in agreement. I think he goes Black Belt, Snore, Lugia's room, and that's 5. Because that'll be row 1, row 2, row 4, Call 1, and BLTR. So he's got a really good path to finish.
Yep, he's going for Snore. He's collecting the berries.
Tommo's just now picking up HMO 6 and the rest of the items that Lance is oh so nice to dump off on us. He does know about the ghost because of the black glass, but he might not have been aware of. It's one of those things he might not remember when Tommo marked that, and he might not be worried about it. Very finish that that's laid out for him.
Yeah, it's entirely possible that going black belt Snore Lugia is exactly where Gar is going here. I mean, because we definitely know he's going black belt Snore. We know that's happening. We're looking for the Noctowl right now. After Snore, it becomes, do you go Lugia's room or do you go Murkrow Ghost type? Not knowing where Murkrow is, having a general idea, but not knowing where it is, Lugia's room is guaranteed.
So he has found the Noctowl now. So as soon as he gets that caught, he's going to be in a race to finish here.
Yeah, putting that false swipe to use. Oh, confused Noctowl. Okay, that's good. It's going to be careful, though, because he only has 3 Pokeballs left. 1 Pokeball, the Fastball, and the Master Ball. And he's probably wanting to keep that Master Ball for the Pokemon in Lugia's room.
Yeah, but from that percentage of health, that catch is just about guaranteed. He does get the Noctowl, so now all he has to do is get Snore and get to Lugia's room. This is going to be a very fast finish. This race is going to be done no more than... He didn't get the number from the black belt.
He didn't get the number. Oh my!
He's gonna have to cycle back down and get the black belt's number. So just the loss of a couple minutes here, give or take any sort of encounters. Oops!
I did it again.
So all he's got to do is make his way back down to the black belt. and then go pick up Snore and make his way into Whirl Islands.
Yeah, we do have Tommo looking for the Apom over here. Looking like we saw it over, it was a water encounter.
Yep.
So he's going to have to head on to the water to sweet scent the Apom out. Hey, look! Breed strats! Breed strats!
The dream is alive.
The dream is dead.
So that's the thing, though. So Tommo was out on the water before. He gave up seeing encounter slots. He might have seen 2 of them and did not see the Apom slot. He's going to have to go back onto the water to find it. Yep, there we go. Garf is now heading back to Olivine to go collect Snore. He's going to call the black belt first and get that number out of his phone book so the black belt doesn't bother him.
Yeah, that's the most obnoxious part of the phone book in Gen 2 is, oh, hey, random phone call. Oh, hey, random phone call. Hey, guess what? You know what my Rattata did? I don't care what your Rattata did, Joey.
There we go. He's now getting now going to go ahead and pick up his TM13, and he is just about done. Tommo still searching the grass for that Apom. He's going to exhaust all the encounter slots before he at this rate before he thinks to go back onto the water.
Moo.
No. Moo.
Moo, moo, moo. Moo, 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 moo.
A little South Park Aliens reference?
Actually, Diablo 2, the cow level.
Oh, I don't know that one. Dang.
But that is TM13.
Yeah. TM13 complete. Row 1, Row 2, Row 4, Call 1. He just needs to pick up the Pokemon in Lugia's room. It's his fastest way to finish. Garf did not do Price. He does have to go do Price. You are correct. So Garf is just a couple of battles away from being done here.
Yeah, Tommo realizing he is going to have to go play on the water to find the monkey. Wow, look at the encounters on the water. Jinx, Typhlosion, Apom. This is incredible.
Such a time loss to find Jinx, though.
Yeah.
There he is. He found the Apom finally. Garf is now on Price.
And hey,
Price
look,
with that
Nidoking. Oh, Tommo using the Master Ball here.
He might have been so tired of looking for that Apom, he didn't want to waste any time with it. I don't blame him. I'd be super frustrated at this point if I searched the water and then left, only for it to still be in the water. It is the right play, though. Like, if you've seen a couple of the encounter slots, to go ahead and go into the grass and get a few of those encounter slots. It's just really unfortunate that it was the one slot on the water he didn't see.
Yeah, absolutely here. And he didn't mark off Apom on the bingo card yet. The frustration's got to be real. He's going for cancel evolution strats here. He's putting the experience share on Squirtle.
I didn't see what level the Squirtle was. It was
15.
Oh, that's right. It was a Game Cornermon. Yeah, so it's 15. That's exactly where you'd want to find that Squirtle at. But Garf is now going to head down to Whirl Islands to wrap up this race. We're looking. This is going to be the fastest finish of the tournament so far, to sub 130.
Unless, of course, random encounters say no.
He'd have to hit like 12 encounters. Or more. I might be understating that. This ROM was a fountain of information, especially with don't use repels on the card. This ROM was pretty much guaranteed to be fast.
Yeah, you're not wrong on that.
Yeah, that's the thing about with the people commenting about the path through Price's gym that Garf took. Yeah, Douglas has 3 Pokemon, whereas that skier has only 1. And you can easily just take her out and maneuver past Douglas. Now Garf's getting a ton of encounters, just trying to prove me wrong. Like, I gotta stop predicting things.
Told you.
All right, here we go. Garf does know his way through Whirl Islands, guaranteed. It was a thing though. He said he needed to work on. We were talking about this, especially when we did commentary together. He just was something he had to work on.
Yeah, the only cave I can do blank is I can do Rock Tunnel and Fire Red Leaf Green. That's about what I can do.
I could only do Rock Tunnel in Gen 1.
It's pretty much the same in Fire Red Leaf Green as it is in Red and Blue.
Garf making his way down the waterfall. My sub 130 is correct unless this is only unknown slots. But a Sunkern. We're closing with a Sunkern. Garf, catch something else.
No, this is appropriate because we started with a Sunflora, we're ending with a Sunkern.
Oh my gosh. Why?
It's a loop. It loops.
There we go. And all he's got to do, press that done button, and Garfield the Lightning is your winner. First race of the day. Congratulations, Garfield. Fantastic race, a 126 finish. So my sub 130 is correct. So I didn't completely jinx myself.
Well, you would have just lost a minute if you jinxed yourself.
Oh my god.
And Miz is like, I'm never working with this guy again.
I'm so glad this race is over. Nah, dude, this has been a lot of fun working. It's absolutely sick. Let's see if we can get Garf and Tommo into the chat to talk about that race.
Yeah, this was just absolutely insane. But while we're working on getting interviews here, I do want to let you guys know that this is not the only Pokemon Cinco Bingo we've got coming for you today. Immediately following us here at 4 p.m. right here on Randomania, we have got Cruel and Technetium 43. It's going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern. And then at 7 p.m. Eastern, also here on Randomania, we've got Oro and Fire 1520. And, hey, Gar, what's happening?
Dude, I'm so bad, dude. I'm hitting all these optionals. The nerves got to me, I'm telling you. But
the nerves got to you on a 125.
Oh my god, yeah, I know. Well, it all worked out in the end. I wasn't sure at the end whether I should go for column 5 or the diagonal, because I knew that the ghost type had to be in Ilex, but I wasn't entirely sure where the Murkrow was. It would either be in Ilex or in the route after that, and I just didn't want to. I just didn't fancy searching for all that, and because I tried to predict where Tommo caught something in a casual race, and it backfired on me big time. So I've decided I'd just go for the guaranteed line there.
Yeah, that's the exact debate we were having. In Murkrow was also in Ilex to answer.
Okay, that was in Ilex too, right? Well, I wasn't sure. I mean, if I'd have known it was in Ilex, I probably would have just gone back there and looked.
Yeah, no, that was the actual debate we were having there, is whether you're going to go for Lugiazurm or whether you're going to gamble on Ghost type and Murkrow.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I was torn. It was really tough to decide. But...
We were honestly kind of shocked. You ended up not seeing there was a Gengar in Ilex Forest along with the Murkrow.
Okay.
And Tommo ran into both of them at least twice.
Gengar was like 5 times.
Yeah, he found something like 3 Murkrows, and I figured the reason he didn't catch the first one was because he didn't want to give away where it was. And he ended up catching it on his way to Headbutt without he didn't make his way all the way to Headbutt, he just checked the hidden item.
Yeah.
So we were figuring that you might have thought it was in Route 34 instead, just based off.
I thought it might. I thought it could have. It was like it was marginal. It could have been either one, really. I just wasn't sure. Yeah. But yeah, that Gyarados, dude. Another Drill Peck Gyarados in the tournament. How about that?
So
Goodness me.
This ROM was a fountain of information early on.
I know, right? Jeez, I was like drowning in it. Goodness me.
So, I mean, you guys got to Goldenrod, and I was saying like, they have enough information that they can start routing their finish, and we're not even to Eckerteak yet.
Yeah, I was a bit worried because I often struggle with like information overload, but I just managed to like break it down into chunks, and it worked out in the end. I think I don't think I panicked as much as I sometimes do in these situations.
It was a nice clean finish for you, honestly. Like, aside from obviously like hitting rotators and stuff.
Yeah, geez, man. Yeah, I hit the guy in Sprout Tower. I hit the guy in on the way to I don't know what the route number is, but on the way to Mahogany.
Yeah. You hit the guy. You hit the one spin
I
on
hit the guy
on the way to National Park.
Yeah, dude, I was like, I thought I pressed right, but I was just like, I swear, the nerves just made it so my finger was just like not pressing the right button hard enough, I suppose.
If it makes you feel better, Tommo did end up hitting the same exact trainer on his way back to Goldenrod.
Dang.
And we both kind of were like, huh.
I was like
that's the guy to hit if you're making movement errors.
When I hit the guy in Sprout Tower, I thought, well, you know, this guy's giving me APOM info, maybe that'll come into play, and then, like, Morsey had one, so I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So, I want to ask you, it was the reaction to the level 9. First, your reaction to the level 9 it was Thunder Punch Suicune.
Yeah,
and
well,
that
was something like, well, guess I'm getting flashed then.
And Tommo did save a bit of time on you because he went straight for Sprout Tower as opposed to going and finding out what the 9 was.
Oh, I see. Right.
The other one I want to ask you about, Moltres in the game corner.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't realize it was there, and then I went to flipping. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't realize how much money I had at the time. If I'd have realized I was that loaded, I probably would have gone straight back to Goldenrod.
Well, finding that amulet coin was a huge boon for you.
That was really nice. Yeah, I'm so glad I checked that item because, yeah, I've had problems getting that much money in the past, but yeah, I had no issue that time. Goodness me.
So I asked Tommo if he wanted to join us. Tommo isn't getting notifications. And
is he still
going?
He's still going.
All right.
He's either not aware that you're finished.
No, let's see. We've got
he's
column
done
2,
now, though,
row 4, column 5. 1, 2, 3.
He hasn't pulled the black belt yet. Oh, there you go. There.
Yep, there's 4. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, he's got 5.
All
right. He's got 5.
This was a really fast round for both of you.
Yeah.
He finished about 7 minutes behind you, which isn't like, I mean, it's a fair bit of a difference, but I mean, you're still talking a sub 133.
Yeah, with don't use repels on the card too.
Exactly.
It was just a pretty nice ROM, really.
Tommo wanted to go ahead and finish, so fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, we can get pull Tommo in here, and we'll get some questions into him.
Okay.
Yeah, but this was definitely an absolutely just crazy stream. Let me drag him. There we go. We're going to drag Tommo in.
Tommo, nice race, man.
Hey, Tommo.
That is the fastest bingo I've ever done. Fastest Cinco bingo, and it wasn't enough.
GG, dude.
So
dude, you were ahead of me for a while, man. I mean, you were like in Ilex Forest. I knew you were a bit ahead of me there.
Jinxes cry. I saw 7 jinxes before.
I don't think I saw a single jinx. Where the heck was this?
It was in the water. Ambipom was in the water, and there was Jinx, Typhlosion, and Ambipom. And Ambipom's the freaking rare. And I saw 7 jinxes.
Apom was literally the first encounter I got in the water.
So let me, real quick, Tommo, let me ask you about that. So you went to 31 to get the Apom, and you had the misfortune, whereas Garf found it first encounter. You found 2 slots on the water and then went into the grass.
Okay, so my argument there was I didn't want to listen to more Jinx's cries.
So I commented when you were heading back to the water that it's the right play to make. You got 2 of the encounter slots in the water to go ahead and then check the grass. It wasn't the wrong play. I'm more looking for your reaction to, like, of course you were the last slot in the water.
Yeah, no. So I don't know if I was allowed to do this or not, but I've actually done a recording off screen. So yes, the stream isn't hearing it, but there is actually a voice recording of everything I had said during the race. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slam them together in what's its name, Movie Maker, and just
Oh, you recorded your audio. Okay, cool.
Yes, I have recorded my audio from my voice. So everything that had happened had happened.
How PG was your audio, Tommy?
Oh, let's not go into those words. But one thing I would like to point out, and I will admit it, I completely blonde-momented Murkrow was on the card. I had saw 4 Murkrows.
Oh, that's what that was.
Okay, because we thought you were trying to game Gar, not realizing it wasn't on the card. We're sitting here.
I had not realized it was on the card until I had picked up Magnet. Like, wait a second. That's on the card, isn't it?
Well, so much for us thinking you were trying to game Garfield. It was just a derp.
We were complimenting the gamesmanship.
So this card had the literal worst luck for me because I don't know where Lugia's rune is. So that was my avoid cast. And because I was dumb and forgot that Snore is the berry one, I was like, well, I set the wrong time, meaning I'm going to have to reset the clock or try to make a goal. And what I have done is literally what I was aiming to do I'm not kidding you, from the forest. I had all that planned since the forest, and between the Ambipom. So I saw you marked Articuno. Was that Articuno Zapdos Moltres, Garth? And I actually had noticed that it was in the Bile for free.
Yeah. No, I hadn't checked that. So I caught the Moltres in New Barktown instead. So
I was a bit confused. I was like,
because I saw there was 3 slots. Like, pretty good play, pretty good to just do that. And then I realized it was in the game corner.
Because I check when I get to the coin case for pokes, because the coin case has been a good thing. Yeah,
I want to ask both of you guys real quick.
I saw every mean Pokemon. I saw Tangela, Delibird, all of them.
I saw none of these. What the heck?
You guys saw Shuckle. That made me happy.
Oh, I did see Shuckle. Yeah.
I didn't see Shuckle, but if you had gone through the defeat all 4 trainers when the trainers had Tangela, I think.
I see. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't sure. I thought I would skip that goal for the time being.
My route was solid until that in that forest, and
because I think Nidoqueen was either unobtainable or in a terrible spot, and Nidorino was in Dark Cave.
So I
decided to not bother with that goal. So
I was looking at Nidoking and Nidoqueen, and I was like, wait a second. If I don't want to get Snore and I don't want to get Lugia's room, there's no point to look at Nidoking, Nidoqueen. Because the only 2 goals that can help me with is those 2.
Yeah, fair enough.
Make sense? So, Onyx and Cypher was a meme. I found a place where there was Steelix and Sizzle.
Yeah, I ran into both.
I was like, on the same route? But GG, that is the fastest thing that I've ever done, and it was.
Yeah, it was nice.
I'm so proud of myself, though. Nearly sub 1.5 hours, and I would say if there was we need to put it on page 9. Number of Jinx's cries, it would be 20.
This guy. Number of Jinx's cries, he says.
Let me I want to ask you both real quick before I don't know, we got plenty of time before we have to start really setting up for the next race. But I want to ask both of you guys. So Garf, you guys both kind of set an early goal to the side. Garf, you spoke about skipping the trainers in National Park, and we were kind of wondering about that. Was that part of your routing? Because like I said before, like you guys had enough information when you got to Goldenrod to really map out late game routes.
Well, at that point, I had already checked Nidorino, Nidoqueen, and I didn't fancy where those were, so I didn't like that row. And then the column, I was like, stop the same Pokemon evolving 4 times. I don't know. I mean, Well, I mean, I could have done that, I suppose, but I hadn't
So-
really seen anything that great for that goal. So I thought, I mean, if I needed that, I could just come back to National Park later. But I didn't really think I needed that goal at the time.
And then Tomo, on your side of things, you didn't set up the third egg your first time in Goldenrod. You ended up saving that for later.
The reason, okay, that one was partially my fault, partially, so I was going to set it up when I picked up the odd egg, because my strat is that I normally catch something on the same egg group, not the same Pokemon, but the same egg group. But this was the first time I hadn't, and I hadn't checked the Game Coiner pokes, and when I had checked the Game Coiner pokes, my mind was more set that, all right, I don't need to worry about Moltres more than I need to worry about my third egg. So my head had gone for the middle goal and noticed that that was something that middle and last goal, because the last goal was the stop Pokemon evolving 4 times in a row. That was, I had saw that, oh, it's Squirtle. Squirtle evolves at 16. It gives it 15. So that's 16, 17, 18, 19. It stops 4 times. So
Well,
I
was
was
lucky enough to run into a female Eevee, so so I didn't need to
Did
even
you run
need to
into-
go. I got
can
a male
ask, did
Eevee and a female Eevee, so
Oh,
I evolved
okay.
them. I
Yeah,
evolved
see,
them
I
both and
didn't.
then
I
bred
got
them.
I got 2
Yeah,
male
I
Eevees.
think it's
so-
like 1 in 8 to get a female Eevee, so I
yeah,
got
it
pretty.
is. I was wondering, did you get 2 Eevee evolutions,
Yeah,
or did
yeah,
you
I
get
did.
the Espeon from
No, I didn't.
the?
No, I didn't get the Espeon. I saw that after I'd evolved my Eevee.
Yeah, same.
My Eevees, so yeah.
That was quite funny in that situation. But yeah, I will admit I should have gone and done that automatically. It was just I saw the other 2 Pokemon and was more inclined to notice those 2.
But yeah, Lucia's room is. I mean, I just learned it today. It's like it's pretty lenient. You just have to like bonk into walls, and then you just go in a straight direction until you hit a ladder. And it's like
my problem is even I've been practicing all day because I've had 3 hours of no power, but I've been testing it on my 3DS capture card with the actual normal crystal. So I played through normal crystal just to get to that point to work it out, and I still couldn't work out where Lugia's thing is. I've completed the whole game, and yet I still don't know where Lugia's place is.
All right. Well, yeah, because I had power, I could look up a map on the internet, so that was fine for me.
Yeah, that's. How do you feel? That's
the
super
internet,
strong when you're
look at that. The internet literally wins me the game. There you go.
Well, my PC just can't cope with more than 1 tab open, so I had to deal with the bingo tab and only bingo tab.
So Garf, I gotta hand it to you. That was speaking about that before, and that was a point of concern for you.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I just didn't know how. Yeah, I just didn't know, exactly how to do it. So I just looked at it today. And it was actually much easier than I thought. It's like for like the dark cave movement to get black glasses, you don't really. I think that's like a bit harder because you don't. The Whirl Islands movements basically you just like go up to a wall, then go right until you hit a wall, and then you go up and then like right 1 tile to hit a ladder, and then you just like go down to another wall, left to another wall, down to the ladder. It's really easy. It's kind of pretty difficult to get lost in there. But like in Dark Cave, it's a little easier to get lost, I think. So it took me less time.
What was your time, by the way? Your total time?
Well, on my game, in my game, it was like 125.01, but on my live split, it was 125.57.
Oh, I meant in the dumb button bit.
Yeah, it was 125.01 in there.
Oh, 6 minutes. So, for people who don't know, me and Garth have been doing a lot of practice against each other, and it was 2 minutes, 2 minutes.
Like two races.
Two races, and they were both 2 minutes where he did win. And
Jeez, was it really only 2 minutes? Dang.
Yeah, it was both times. We were only 2 minutes apart from each other, and we had near enough the same goals. This is 6 minutes this time, but still one of the quickest bingos I've ever done. I think that is. I would say it's due to our starter. I think this would.
Flipping Drillfat Gyarados was pretty
Yeah,
great.
I don't think if Gyarados wasn't just that good, this would have ended a completely different way. Most probably you would still win, but we wouldn't have had just a free starter.
I think you got flipping Bubble Beam TMs the first one, and the Falconers one was pretty alright too.
I didn't teach that.
I thought I might as well, but
So I didn't teach it because in my thought process was that I didn't know how free money was going to be.
Well, I mean, I
And
figured it was only like
Pokemon?
it's not like it's like what is it 1,000 or 1,500 something like that. I don't know exactly how
Yeah.
much that one is, but I thought I could probably make that up.
Yeah, I lose a lot of battles.
I thought it was unlikely to make the difference.
I think another thing that was quite good that nothing had stab electric moves.
So I don't remember. Tomo, did you find the amulet coin in Burn Tower?
There was a burnt. There was a. I picked up every item.
That'd be a no.
There you
That
go.
would be a decisive no.
Is there a hidden item?
Yeah, you just like it's like
I've never. Okay, I'm being
It's
serious. I don't know where the hidden items are.
it's the hidden item there is pretty near the entrance. You just kind of well, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
I didn't
terrible
know
at explaining this
that.
kind of thing, but
To this day, I had never known there was actually a hidden item there.
yeah.
And it was
Oh!
an
It's an
amulet
amulet
coin.
coin. It was pretty sweet.
Oh, it's fine. I got sharp beak. Boom boom.
Yeah, I don't think I did. I don't think I got
The
a
sharp beak was
actually.
the daycare item.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't pick that one up. There were some
Because
items I just
I
didn't.
was the quick claw wasn't really doing anything for me.
Yeah, I didn't pick up I picked up most of the items, but I didn't go for some of the more out of the way ones. But yeah, GG.
GG.
Good luck surviving a loser's bracket, Tomo.
I don't think I will.
Come
If
on.
1.5 hours isn't good enough,
No,
then
no.
I think
maybe.
you're selling
Just-
yourself short.
Just learn Lugia's room and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Well, Lugia Room doesn't even help me because I would still need Snore.
Yeah, I guess.
True.
That was my problem. Is I hate Snore. Like
That's-
the only thing I
that's-
hate more is phone book, Max phone book, because
Snore is. I really like that goal. It's like
it's a fine goal. I just
really
don't
nice.
think I will be able to remember the berries. I did. That was one thing I did remember. Just in case I did need the berries, I did go through the national park, do the bug catching contest.
I mean, you literally only need to remember the two berries at the start, basically, and like the one in the house, and then like the
Yeah,
other ones you pretty much get
that's
through.
quick reset.
And then you like
That's
reset
the
for those
problem.
two, and then you get one from Shucky, and then you get one from losing the bug catching contest. And
Yeah, that's how I
Yeah.
got it. I used a level 8 growler for that.
I just
Don't think that was
didn't-
gonna win.
I just didn't catch anything. You can do that and also get the berry that way.
I guess. I just thought I wanted to see if there was anything actually here that was on the card.
I think I saw like 3 encounters there, and there was nothing there and so I was like, well, I'm probably
saw
not going to catch anything
4,
anyway.
But yeah, GG. That was
If
fun.
I'd have found Mischievous there, that would have been pretty nice because it was nowhere else in Johto. But
Was it really not in Johto? We
yeah,
got
no,
information for it.
I looked in my decks and it was like nowhere.
Well, it made me laugh
Oh.
because I saw Gengar like several times, and I
Yeah.
was surprised that
Didn't
you
see it.
didn't see it in
Didn't
the
see a
forest.
Murkrow, didn't see a Gengar.
They were both in the forest.
I do. Well, I mean, I knew the ghost type had to be in the forest. I was not
Yes.
sure about Murkrow at the time. So that's like, if I'd have known that Murkrow is an Ilex 2, I would have gone for column 5 instead of going to Lugia's room. And I think that would have been a bit faster.
Yeah, no, they were both there just chilling. But yeah, I nearly accidentally taught Flashing Cut to Eevee, and then I was going to evolve it, which would lost me row 5, column 5, column 1, row 5. I would have just done it to the Meowth, but that's not the point. It was more that would be more wasting time.
All right. So it does look like we are about ready to get the next race under. Got
Oh, geez. I'm commentating this one out, so I better actually flip
You
it.
are.
That is something I
Let
will be
me
looking
actually
into.
have a look at my at the restream then, huh?
I do need to look into that because I would like to maybe do that in the future, but
So we
as
uh,
a
do-
commentator for funds. But anyway,
And-
yeah. Does that mean I have to be out now?
Yeah, we're going to be clearing out of this room here. We've got
look. Don't use repels again. Nice.
we've got Garth versus Caven or Kevin. You're gonna have to tell me how to say your name because I'm
Kevin.
Cavan.
It's Cavan.
Cavan. All right,
Versus.
Cavan.
This is a
Calvin and
commentator
Garfield.
battle to the death, is it?
Well, ours was, so.
Yeah,
Was
ours
it?
pretty much was.
Oh,
Yeah.
gee.
But we've got Cruel versus Tech. We got Garth and Cavan on commentary. Greenleaf and I are going to be taking off. It's been an absolute pleasure, Greenleaf.
It's been fun. Have a good one, everybody.
Take care, guys. Enjoy the next race.
I'll be getting going too. I'll see you guys later.